Welcome back to the channel, you guys. We are at the world famous, world renowned DeLaveaga disc golf course for this week's Masters Cup. DeLaveaga is one of the most maybe polarizing courses in the disc golf world. Some love it, some hate it. It is a fun play, can be a little messy for tournament style golf, but definitely a course I recommend getting out to and trying at least once in your life. Everyone's got to throw that top of the world shot, yell at the parking lot before they hit someone in the head, and yeah, just a lot of kind of very memorable moments created out here, whether good or bad. We're playing an 18-hole layout. I believe this course has between 24 and 27 holes total. Bunch of different pin locations. So based on which pin they place it in, it can be very difficult out here, almost unbirdieable in a way, or it can be pretty easy. We're playing a pretty tough layout, obviously, with a lot of the best players in the world in town, and then wanting to challenge us. In case you forgot, I'm Connor O'Reilly. You can get this hat at OTB Discs, my main sponsor. You can also get this signature CO jersey at cardinaldiscgolf.com. It's going to help you get lucky kicks, blend in and weave through the trees with a nice green and black setup. And if you need the best grip in the game and to read the wind, Loop Bag's got you covered. Also have that signature bag there. Throw a couple breakfast balls and then let's get off to the races. All right, hole one's 347, usually a pretty reachable distance, but with this uphill nature and the tight gap, it's almost impossible to get to circle one without a perfect shot and a good skip. Don't really love this pin, not gonna lie to y'all. I'd prefer the one that's kind of straight ahead. It's still tough, but more birdieable. A lot of holes out here, you kind of just gotta hit your gaps and be okay with pars. I'm gonna go Halo Boss. Just trying to get up to the top shelf mainly. Like, that felt like about as good as you really can execute, but that log kind of gets in the way, and a long opportunity. Over or under 50% chance they yell parking lot after this throw. Oh, there's your parking lot call. So there's a pin that sits right there that I think is probably the best pin for this hole. Challenging, but repeatable, and offers a birdie for the great shots to differentiate them from the good shots. Because I threw a great shot, but unless I make a 90-foot jump putt up the hill, I don't get rewarded against the good shots. And that's my issue when you make a hole just difficult to be difficult instead of difficult yet scoreable. You run into the issue of just not allowing for the score separation that the course should probably have. Because now I throw this great shot, someone else doesn't even clear the stairs here, they're down there. We're probably both gonna take a 3. Unless I chip it in. Ooh. Gave it a bit, y'all, gave it a bit. And I know DeLaveaga is one of those kind of 30-year-old designs, and they go with a little bit of an old school mentality out here. But I think with time and information, all things improve and grow. And so I challenge the people here at DeLaveaga to do the same. It's an amazing property, great landscape for the game. You got trees, you got hills, great big hills. But yeah, I challenge them to rethink the design to be a little bit more challenging, yet repeatable when you throw that top 10% of a good shot. Whatever it might be, you know, certain holes should play harder than others. But some of the way they have it playing out here, I just don't think is the best, not only for the fans, but also for the players. But I'll get off the soapbox, break down the course, move on to hole 2. Took our par on 1, which is pretty much my game plan there. If I can get a highlight 2, that'd be awesome. Just added this Nuke OS to my bag. Shout out to the great people at OTB Discs. It was kind of sitting in the practice basket around the shop, and I have an affinity for clear plastic, so got the Nuke OS in the bag, new addition. Since I lost my Cabernet Stiletto at OTB, or at Champions Cup. This is gonna be my new Spike Heiser forehand backhand go-to guy. Hole 2 offers a backhand straight up the middle, a little bit of a tighter gap. Also has the wide open airspace for that spiking forehand, at least until you get towards the basket. There's some tree canopies you got to deal with. The higher you get it, the easier it is to deal with those canopies. A little bit of headwind coming off the Pacific Ocean right now. That's right, Pacific Ocean. I'm gonna jam this up there towards that dead tree in the back, but over the top of it. Let it fade in for me. A little aggressive on the hyzer, but hopefully my disc isn't stuck in a tree like it was yesterday and we'll have some kind of a putt. Found ourselves about 45 feet. Nice framed up gap here. But the ceiling is a little constricted, so because of that, I'm gonna go to jump putt so I can make sure to have enough pace to beat the ceiling. Oh, I love these frames because they really, once you hit it, you're pretty much there. But you gotta hit the gap first, y'all. You gotta hit the gap. Starting with the pair of pars here at DeLaveaga. And with this current layout, I think anything below par is gonna be solid. If you can shoot in the 3 to 6 down range, you're probably gonna be in the mix if you can get hot in the other rounds. Through 3 rounds on this layout, I feel like we might see like a 27 under to 30 under as the winner. Somewhere in that range if they really play well. If not, it could be even as low as like 24. So just gotta stay patient, take the birdies as they come. Make sure not to bogey is the key at DeLaveaga. You gotta love having the trash cans located sign just to remind people, hey, don't leave your damn cans here in the beautiful wilderness of DeLaveaga's forest. Take it to the trash bin. Hole 3, 390 feet. Better known as the Greg Barsby forehand roller ace hole, which just blows your mind. Not only to throw the right line, but to get the luck and the pop up at the end to go in. It's just one of a kind, once in a lifetime shot. I'm gonna go ESP force in this high line gap, if you will, past the telephone wires. You got to stretch it flat towards that big pine tree out in the back, past that gap. Get it to fade back a little bit. That feels really good right there. Go in. I feel like I'm putting. That felt literally exactly what I wanted to do. Let's see how dialed my thought process is. Look at the movement on this funky little dead pine. Crazy. You see how the live veins are working inside the bark there. Missed a little bit left, but left is the safe side, avoiding the downslope. Anytime you find a downslope on this course that's off the fairway, you're likely to be also very near to or in some poison oak, so all the more incentive to not shank your shots. C2 look. Another low ceiling putt. Try to do a little right foot step through here, keep it nice and smooth. Yeah, I knew that ceiling might come into play, but at the same time, I'd rather come in soft than really chase that birdie here, knowing that pars are the proper mistake, especially on a hole that does not see very many twos. Okay, hole 4, par 3, just under 400 feet. The first 200 of it is flat. Then it gently downslopes past that last pine there on the left side, or a straight side, you should say. You want to beat that one on the right. Play a disc that's going to avoid fading for the entire flight. Likely a mid-range is going to be the choice here. You do have that oak branch to try to get below as you get closer to the basket. Really like this hole. Probably one of my favorites on the course. I think it's a very, while it is like on paper a straight shot, there's a lot more nuance to it. The way you have to play an understable disc, get it to kind of move right just ever so slightly to avoid fading. Really good hole. I'm going Iron Samurai MD3 on this one. Oh gosh, y'all, that was so soft. I needed to pop it. And I found the left side tree line. Hopefully I stayed on the edge and can scramble for an easy 3, but that was just a little soft and uncommitted. Okay, we have our first scramble decision of the round. These are going to be important moments out at DeLaveaga, and you're going to have to get crafty even on a good round sometimes. I'm thinking the double kneel, little zone, soft hyzer shooting through is probably my best option here. Try to play a lot of hyzer here. Hug it tight. Well, get myself an open look, and now we got a scary putt. This one honestly is one of the less scary ones on the course. Doesn't just drop off right behind the basket. You have some room. So as long as you land it flat, you're good. From 45 to save. All right, there's that safe flat landing. Player B almost pissed us off again. I thought about playing the more stable disc there to get the fade since it is kind of downhill. But like I said, I also wanted to land it flat, so I played my slightly more beat-in focus. Cleaned up our comebacker on these DGA Mach 7s. It's a decent basket. Not sure if it's DGPT approved, obviously not because we don't play on it. But it gets the job done for the most part. I'd say it's kind of on par with like the veterans, maybe a little worse. Hole 5 is another one of my favorites at 348. It's gonna play much different than the 350-ish of hole 1. This one slightly downhill the whole way, a little bit of a low ceiling off the tee, but nothing that's really gonna bother you because you don't need a ton of speed here. You just need to hit the right disc that's gonna avoid fading to the out of bounds road left and long. Ideally a putter for an MPO player, maybe a mid-range for FPO player, something that's not gonna fade on you, that you can get to hold straight. I love this big cedar tree off the tee to the left. It's absolutely magnificent. I'm gonna go Luna. Hit it nice and flat, let the disc work. Ooh, if I can beat that trunk. If I could have slid past that tree, probably would have made it to C1, but line was pretty much 97% of exactly what I wanted, so we'll take a stab at it. Just look at the size of this thing, y'all. Gargantuan. That needs to be the name of a distance driver. Don't steal it, that's mine. You can see if I would have beat this tree right here that I hit, I would have gotten a nice little hard pan slide up. But we got an open look. And not really any danger on this green as the OB is far enough behind. Shouldn't really come into play on a putt from this distance. Fade. Oh. Player B is so annoying. No, he's not. Player B is dead. He's dead to me. Hole 6, par 3, 215 feet. The first probably must-get birdie on the course, I'd say. The last hole, hole 5, as well as hole 2, feel like some higher percentage birdies that you definitely want to score on. And everything is scoreable, technically. But I'd say this is the first real high percentage one that's going to see more than a quarter of the field birdie it. That leaning, thick pine trunk that has the sunshine on the left side of it right now is a great indicator of where you want to fly this disc, depending on if you're taking forehand or backhand, and depending on the stability you're playing. If you're playing more of a stable disc, forced over, flattening back out, or maybe an understable forehand that flips up for a right-hand player, as well as maybe the understable backhand flip up for the left-hand backhand, you'll probably take the inside of that tree, or the right side of it, since the basket's over on the right of it. The outside, though, comes into play for those who are playing the right-hand backhand with a more understable disc, or looking to play a kind of straight to stable forehand. I'm going understable backhand with my beat up orange dreamsicle faith, and I'm trying to play just left of that trunk. Turn it into the basket. Steep slope on the right side. Another big obstacle here. Okay, honestly, even if I beat it just right, as long as I come out a little bit of hyzer, that's gonna work out fine. Should be parked, honestly. We'll take it. A lot of honestly, but we're just being honest. As you can see here, there is more space to the right side of the tree, but you can quickly get into that downslope. Whereas if you move to the left side, you're almost never going to be able to find the downslope. But if you just get a seasoned faith, which you won't have, because you're going to have to buy yours from otbdiscs.com right now, before you start seasoning it in, here's a little hint: put it on the grass, run it over with your vehicle, it'll flatten out a little bit. This one got inadvertently run over, as well as it's been thrown many times, as you can tell. It used to have a stamp. And now it's a money worker. Look at that downslope. The camera really doesn't do it justice. It's at least 45-degree slope there or more. All right, there we are. Back to even par. Had a bogey there on hole 4, but got the first musket of the course out of maybe only, there's really only like that and gravity feel like the real must know, and the kitchen hole, since we're playing the easy pin. There's 3 what feel like muskets out here. Everything else you have to earn, so.
That's the one and only Connor O'Reilly?
Luke Taylor sighting, y'all. Look at those guys. What up, y'all? Good, how y'all doing? Sorry to all the locals who I'm calling it the tournament hole, and you're probably saying, no, Connor, this is not that hole, it's this hole. I'm just calling it by the tournament layout so I don't have to get overly confusing, and so I know exactly which distance I'm playing and which pin location I'm playing. We're on hole 7, course hole 11, after you cross the road. Definitely one of my favorite par 3s out here. Very challenging, but there is a repeatability to it. There's that one leaning oak that kind of squiggles out, which definitely can be a bit of a luck factor, but there is ways to pure it, whether below or left of that, and get all the way there. High difficulty shot, difficult to execute. You can play hyzer that flips and stands, or you can just kind of jam a flat shot. I'm pretty between both of them. I'd go beat up Explorer if I want to play that hyzer flip, or Athena if I want to hit it flat. I feel like since the proper miss is left to avoid the out of bounds road, I'm going to take Athena, see if I can get it there. Got this nice new beauty in the bag also. Shout out to otbdiscs.com. Since I lost my other one in the canal. Wind off the left thanks to the loop bag. Grip ready to let the disc accurately come out of the fingers. Oh, it was centered up, but I was just too high, and I caught the pine branch that I forgot to mention. Fell in the middle though, and that's honestly a fine miss. Staying in line with this gap feels good, even if you don't get all the way there. I'm gonna try one more with the Explorer hyzer flip for you guys, and for myself, to see if I can convince myself that it's worth it. That one worked out pretty well. I think if the wind is down, or a tailwind, maybe off the right a little bit, I would like that Explorer. But in other conditions, I think I might just go with the Athena. Make sure I rip it, hit the gap. Don't have to mess with the angle too much, just hit it flat. But this is one of those holes though, I'm fine with par. All right, you guys, this tree makes this upshot way more difficult than I'd like to have. But I think I'm just gonna try to go below it with a double kneeling forehand. You're gonna get tricky out here at DeLaveaga. Color shift zone coming in. There we go. Can't be afraid to get down on the knees out of DeLa. Not to beg, but to get creative. And beg for mercy. Found myself a pace or two inside the circle here. Hanging with some poison oak. You gotta love to hate it. Fuck Christ. Let's do a full routine. Can we? Full routine. Okay, skipped off a little bit here. Hanging out in some sketchy poison oak. You gotta love to hate it. I might even go straddle just to avoid having to take a stance from it, but no. Then I can kind of use the right side of my lie and avoid it while keeping my comfortable stance. Hanging out over here, skipped off to the right side in the poison oak. Gotta love to hate it, huh? Dude, make a punt. Skidded off to the right side, hanging out in somewhat of a little poison oak field. Kind of nasty, so I'm just gonna go to the straddle putt to avoid having to even think about dealing with that stuff. Oh, got it to stick. Mach 7 said, "Do you love me now?" Maybe if you weren't leaning, I would. We're on the tee of hole 8, par 3, 232. Better known as the kitchen, because apparently there's like a refrigerator as you walk down the valley to get to the other side over there. There's another version of the hole that plays over to the right here. It's a little bit longer. This one's just behind these trees. This big stand of eucalyptus that you can see shooting up 200 feet into the air is a good landmark, because basket's maybe 20 feet left of that. I'm gonna go sake bomb slammer, a little standstill forehand. Just try to hit it soft, keep it on that hyzer angle. I heard it hit solid ground. Hopefully it's stuck up top on the little plateau that it's on, because it slopes away on all sides on the screen. I wonder if I hit up top and rolled down to this spot, or if I was just so soft that I landed here. But either way, I'm on the short side of circle 1, maybe just inside of the circle. Oh, I wanted that one. Another one of those holes, like I said, it feels like a must get. But we're still sitting at an even par, one birdie, one bogey. And that's one of my fears with a course like this. Like, yeah, well, I'm playing solid golf-wise, and I'm gonna be in a decent spot sitting at even. I just feel like it's kind of a boring brand of golf at a place that can offer so much fun. We are on the tee of hole 9, par 3, 550, way to the left. You gotta enter this tree line and then cook it left past that big pine tree. It's a near impossible birdie if you're gonna call this hole a par 3. They call it I-5. I think there is an Interstate 5 that runs through Cali, as well as a lot of people take a 5 on this hole, since it really is a par 4. But they call it a par 3 because tradition. Jam your shot into the gap. Try to play it towards that dead stump on the backside if you want a wide open approach. Anything short and left of that, there's options. Being in the middle though as you approach is kind of the hardest gap, so you either want to kind of be soft and left or committed and long. I like to go for the committed and long and kind of deal with what I get. So I'm trying to throw this rive towards that big stump way in the back. Oh, I really like this line. See what side of the stump I'm on. Okay, I'm just shy of it, but I entered into that gap. Should be a pretty simple approach, but you never know at DeLaveaga, so let's go find out. Okay, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I'm dead in the middle. There's some people who kind of land a little soft over here, who wind up having a pretty sizable gap. You can see the basket hiding behind the trees there. That gap obviously is pretty nice, even though no one is actually trying to get there because it's kind of a sawed-off shank. And then the long gap, I'll show you guys. If you can get around this dead tree stump I was talking about. I call it a stump, dead tree, whatever. If you can get to this little lane, you got a pretty wide open lane into the basket. But if you're in the middle and you threw a pretty good shot, you're kind of screwed. So I gotta manufacture something, since I threw better than the saw-offs and the yank jobs. Fortunately, there is over the top left to me, and that's probably my best option. Slam it in with that sake bomb slammer. I also do have this low skip shot, but I don't like having to rely on that ground play if I can take to the skies. I should double check the wind just to see what's gonna happen to this disc. Okay, a little bit of tail, so should get sucked out of the sky a bit, even though it's very gentle. It's up, and it's over there, and it's sat. Try to take our 3 on I-5 and move on. Another par hole. Woo! And these Mach 7s do feel like a more narrow kind of catching target than a lot of the ones we're used to. But it's good. Makes you dial it in. Hole 10, par 3. 363 feet, another par play hole. If you can somehow get a look on this one, you're probably going to need a right to left wind, which means you have wind that's not coming off the ocean, which means you're rarely ever going to have that here in Santa Cruz. We do have a little bit of gentle headwind coming at us right now, which isn't going to be hurtful. It's going to help us get the disc to lift in the flight. There's a big pine tree you can't see past this gap that if you can get it to go around that somehow, you can maybe give yourself a long putt, but that thing, it takes a little bit of luck, honestly, to get past that. There's also these low gaps. You'll see people take this bigger low gap on the right, try to jam it on hyzer, get it over there, but because the low percentage of 2, I don't think that gap is ever worth it. Just get it over the top if you have the power and take what you got. I'm gonna go Rive, really try to jam on this thing. Hey! Okay, I was left of the big pine tree. I heard some trees. Hopefully I'm not in the crap. We'll see. I gotta say, if you want to work on your cardio, come play or just walk out here at DeLaveaga, because I've been hiking Yosemite the last couple days before I came out here, and thought this place would feel a little easier because of it, but the hills are real out here at DeLaveaga. They are not just mythical creatures. All right, I'm tucked into the woods here just a little bit. There's fortunately not poison ivy in my plant foot stance, but there's definitely some over here where I'm trying to straddle my right leg out too. Just gonna throw this rubber blend zone. Try to go ET zone home. Oh, just right, but didn't hear anything but the ground, and that's a good sign. All right, par. 1 birdie, 1 bogey. Wow. How many holes have I played? I think this is 11. I'm kind of doing what I was planning, so that's fine by me, I guess. Sorry, you guys. But honestly, don't blame me. I have nothing to do with the layout. All I can do is give my feedback and hope that it gets better in the future. That's on the tournament director or whoever is out here in charge of the pins. Like I said, DeLaveaga is an amazing place. A lot of history. Obviously a lot of tradition, but I think in order for it to continue to be an amazing place that stays in the disc golf spotlight, I think a little bit of change could be a good thing, because the terrain is there, but the shots are a little old school right now, and either call them an easy par 4, make them an actual par 3, but those tweener holes just don't belong in tournament play. Hole 11, 428 foot par 3. Playing to the wind chimes basket of the kitchen hole for the locals who know what I'm talking about. For those who don't, you can see that dead tree, just the top of it showing over the canopy line here. That's a good marker. If you can keep your disc between that and the big pine on the right here, you're going to be flying in the gap. The key is you really have to have this one moving from the left to the right. So either have a big left-hand, backhand hyzer shot, or be able to flex something, ideally neutral to slightly understable, and get it to kind of hold over and just flatten out. So not flex, but just turn. I'm going to go Halo Wraith, because I think it can hold for me while still providing premium distance. Wind coming off the left should be helpful, as long as we can hit it with enough angle and speed. Hey. Okay, I think that's solid. Fade out. Sit now. Okay, that's a pretty decent shot. I did start to fade out, but I heard a tree trunk, I believe. Should be up top, or at least on the fringe with a long putt. I know there might be some locals watching this course or watching this video and thinking, you know, maybe I'm being a little harsh on some of the hole basket locations, but if you think about it from this stance, so say you're out on the course playing with your buddy. You're both equal skill for the most part. Obviously that doesn't exactly exist, but let's say we're both 1,000 rated players. We're out here playing the course. Say one player is throwing 89% of perfect shots all day. On this current layout, they might get 4 to 6 circle one putts for birdie, playing with that kind of success rate. And then you throw a player who's throwing good, maybe they're throwing 75% of the right shot every time, but they're not kicking to bad spots, they're missing on the proper side, staying in bounds, taking pars. That player who's playing now 15 to 20% better than this other player is not really being rewarded for it, because they're not able to capitalize on very many of their great shots. And the other player is just able to sneak by taking pars with worse drives while they take pars with better drives. And that's kind of where I run into a little bit of issue when you make design too challenging. But also I understand forcing players to try to play really high level shots and trying to challenge the best players, and you don't want players to come shoot 12 down or whatever. But I think unless you're willing to do a total redesign, I think you should try to just play the best holes you got. And if the course gets scored on a lot, but it has good separation, 2s, 3s, 4s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, whatever it is, I think that's really the main goal with a good course. Only 2 paces, maybe 3 outside the circle here. This is definitely a big bonus if we can capitalize here on 12, 15. Bang! Kaiser, it's not luck. Definitely not luck. We got a bird! Halo Wraith, give you the distance with minimal fade. You can find it at otbdiscs.com right now. Code Connor, free shipping, better shots, more luck, more fun, more aces, all that jazz. Hole 12, 225 feet, better known as gravity, because of the steep left to right slope as you get to the basket that often causes many shots to roll away. Good shots, bad shots, terrible shots, amazing shots. Doesn't really matter. You're gonna see a roll away on this hole quite often. It almost feels like a coin flip, or even maybe a higher percentage chance than 50-50. The ace is slightly alluring as the basket hides behind that pine tree. A little bit of a right hand flex will get you there, or the left hand back or forehand flex. The real pro play though is just slide it just left of those pines where it's flatter and you can avoid the rollaway, slithering up for the tap in birdie while everyone else feels the mental anguish of this hole. Now, this hole is called gravity. Some call it something else that I will not mention because you guys are disgusting, and stop. You know what I'm talking about. Saki Mountain Slammer. Little baby flex. Uh-oh, I missed right. Caught the pine. Unfortunately, did not roll away. That is, I won the coin flip. You know what, maybe I should just play a faith. so I don't have to play any flex on the disc, and I can just pop a little flat to stable faith shot with my brand new faith. Might be a better play to avoid the roll away. Yeah, there we go. Hyzered into the hill. Uh-oh. Oh, it somehow flip-flopped down and stayed on. You know what, I'm gonna throw one more faith shot just to cement it in my brain that that is the proper way to play this hole, even though this one's way less stable than that one. This one might be the one. Okay, also got the pine. All of them though were within a few feet of where I want to land, which is just left of the big double pine. And none rolled away. We're beating the odds, y'all. Come on. Pretty nice putting angle here. Not too far below it. Bang, bang. Back-to-back C2s for back-to-back birdies. You guys, we're 2 down. We're starting to look like our boring round is becoming really solid and climbing us up the leaderboard. Those 2 strokes will move you a lot on a day like day 1 especially. I'm excited for this weekend to go test my patience and touch out here at DeLaveaga. Because you're going to need both of them. More patience. We got a wildlife sighting. Little mole friend. Digging out his burrow. This is actually the first place that I ever saw baby quails in all their tiny glory. Packed wildlife, tons of bird life. Got these little moles, little squirrels, lizards everywhere. Snakes, you name it. If only I had my blowgun, we have dinner. Gotta give a huge thank you to Squatch for the best bag in the game. The Legend is so good. It has all the space you need, all the bells and whistles, little pockets for each of your knickknacks and paddywhacks. And also to the Max Disc Dense Retriever with the suction cups. They sent me the carbon fiber 32-foot pole. I've already used it here at DeLaveaga to get my disc out of a tree. I was like, there's no way this thing is gonna reach up there. It's literally 40 damn feet in the air. Sure enough, able to knock it out with the pole. And also with a course like this with tons of poison oak, you can use it to get your disc out of the poison oak if you're not trying to play from there because you're just playing a casual round or practicing. Or from thorns or any of the dangerous plant life that you have on this earth, as well as animal life. You know, say your disc is hanging by a rattlesnake and you don't want to disturb it, bang, Max Disc Dense to the rescue. Quickly pay for themselves, honestly. Once you save a couple discs, you're already in the green. Iron Samurai here on the Anaconda hole. This one is pretty diabolical with the rollaways and a really tough tee shot. You gotta push it past this oak tree on the left side, keep it low on turn somehow, and sneak your way through for some kind of a putt, or more likely a layup. I'm going to Iron Samurai MD3. Really chop turning it. That felt a little wide and a little low, but I don't know this course super well, and so let's see where it's at. Got this massive mosquito coming after me. Get out of here. Now this is one of those putts coming down the line. If you need to win the tournament, you definitely got to run during round 1. You probably maybe lay it up because the rollaways are the worst you've ever seen on this hole. And there's the big Anaconda route, everyone calls it. Oh man, tough decision. But for you guys, since I love you, I'm gonna try to make this. And because I love making birdies. Oh, hit the root. Oh no, you guys. I'm in Narnia, and that's why you just do this on this hole. I'm in Narnia. Well, I'll see y'all when I see y'all. I'm gonna take this thing in case I need it. Wow. I thought that root was gonna collect me back there. Wow, I just had a hawk fly right over my head. Holy cow. Hopefully that showed up well for you guys. That was kind of scary. I thought it was up high. I saw the shadow and then boom, 10 feet above me. You got a little maybe red tail flying through. All right, down into the poison ivy field. Wow, I got so lucky. I am in the poison ivy. So I will be using this disc max distance retriever to get it out. Thankfully I have this thing. And now I'm trying to make a forehand putt to save par. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wow. Well, in tournament, maybe I'll just do that, lay it up. Now I'm worried that this disc has the oak juice on it. So maybe my discs are gonna get a bath later. Or see if I have a wipe in here. Fortunately, I have some New waterless skin cleanser wipes in my bag because I am highly allergic to poison ivy, oak, anything with the urushiol oil in it. And so I'm just going to be rather safe than sorry with my main dog putter and give it a little wipe off because I do not want to mess with that stuff. There we go. Big thanks to New for hooking us up at whatever event that was. Maybe USDGC we got these or something, but very much a must-have for those of you like me who are allergic to poison ivy. 14 clear! Hole 14, par 3, 324, another one of my favorites on this course. You got the big down root ball. That's a pretty cool feature and obstacle on this course. And then you have that grouping of pine trees, 5 of them on the back side, that are a good landmark as well. There's the leftmost one, the big leaning one with the lichen on the sunny right side of it. That one is a great benchmark for whether your shot is online or not. If you can beat it either side, left or right, coming in, swinging gently left or from the right to the left, you're right on track with the basket. I'm gonna go hyzer shot with that Delaware Champion compass. Really try to test that back wall of pines. That was too far inside, you guys. Back-to-back holes, trying to sink a forehand. Give it a little softy with a slammer. A little softy bomb slammer. Ooh. I'm gonna run back, throw one more at the compass. You'll see it coming in. Back on the tee. Hit the line. That's wide. Around the pine. Still caught some oak branches. This one I feel like some of these oak limbs on the backside can maybe be cleaned up, but there we go. Threw this shot right. Another par on the card. Still at 1 down after that bogey 2 holes ago. 4 holes to play here on course hole 25. This has been hole 1 in the past for certain tournament layouts. I really like the pin that's straight ahead on those rocks where you can see the guys walking past right now. But this pin up to the left reads 399 on paper, plays like 4 or 575 probably. It's really not reachable. If you can park this hole with video evidence, I'll give you $100, no problem, and 5 discs. You know, so that's like $200 value. You can park this hole in video from this tee box to that basket. I don't want no short basket videos, none of that crap. Don't waste my time. This oak is really hanging down. I feel like more than years past. I guess maybe, I don't know if it's just getting bigger and heavier over the time, or I just don't remember it being that low because I haven't been here in 4 years. I'm going Kobe Bryant. Try and get up there towards those rocks. And just chip up, take par. I'd venture to say we'll see almost no circle one jobs for birdie here. Only throw-ins, and probably not a lot of them. Like, that felt like a pretty dang good drive, and I pretty much parked the other basket that's not there. So we'll have an uphill, 45-degree uphill angle shot at it. Try throwing in for 2. All right, well, I threw it about pin high, you guys, to the short pin, but now we got this crazy uphill shot. Oh, tried, y'all. Hit the pole. I wish the camera ever did a slope justice once in its life, but it can't. This thing is so much more uphill than y'all probably realize. Maybe seeing me struggle to run up it will prove that. Woo. Hole 16, par 3, 276 feet on paper. It's gonna play more like a 380-foot power shot, maybe up to 400. You can see where that gentleman in the gray shirt's up there in the gap. You want to be in line with that, maybe working ever so slightly to the right, but it's kind of an illusion that makes you feel like you need to work it right. Really, you just want to play it straight through that gap. The ground slopes away, so it'll kind of pull you towards the basket once you get up there. I'm gonna go Athena, kind of between that and a PD, but I think this Athena should be the perfect stability to give me just a slight turn while fighting out.
You getting the course practice round in?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. One of the first ever tournaments I watched was the Iron Hill one.
That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was sweet.
16 clear. We just had another hawk fly over. Athena. All right, here we go. Oh, slightly left, caught some limbs, but I think it sat. Kind of a long and wild run, so I'm just gonna lay this one up, y'all. Oh, kind of tried to give it a bid. Laying up ain't really in our blood, but we got to. Easy tap in. Another 3. Okay, hole 17. Another one with an unfavorable pin location, I would say. This one's 470 feet straight ahead. There's a nice 350 footer straight ahead that also plays really well that I'd like to see us play. This one's relatively flat up on the fairway, but there's a steep slope either way here. So kind of gauge how much do you really want to go for this one versus just playing something cutting in 2. I'm going to try to attack with the Halo Wraith on some hyzer, get it to flip out. It's a little high, and hopefully I can hit some canopy. I heard something, so I shouldn't be too bad on the left there. If I can keep that line down, it should work out. All right, a little bit further than I expected to get here, y'all, but I'm hanging out with the raspberries or blackberries, wherever these are. So that's not fun. But since this was a little bit off and still made it up here, kind of is trying to convince me to play for the 2. At the same time, though, I don't know if I want to get the poison oak just to chase an elusive birdie. Hole 18. Better known as the top of the world. Really beautiful shot. You can see the bay out there, see a little bit of the city in the background. And when it's clear enough, you can see the mountains back there. You can kind of see them poking right now. You see the fog on the bay. Use that loop bag to check the wind. It's going to be important, sorry. Coming at our heads here, off the water. A lot of different ways to play this hole. Whatever you do, don't put it in the parking lot. You don't want to say parking lot here. Too much of that going on. I'm going to go Pioneer. Play it out towards this big pine, swing it back in. That feels solid, and honestly, it kind of feels like it has a chance. Drop. Okay, I caught the post just deep of the basket and should be fine. Nice. All right, to finish with the bird. Try to get 2 down. There we go. Line frame, let's go, Ryan. That's gonna be all she wrote for the practice round out here at DeLaveaga, the legendary course. Let me know in the comments. Do you love this course? Do you hate it? Are you indifferent about it? What do you think would make it better? Or do you think it's perfect as is? I always like to know you guys' thoughts, not only on my videos, but the places I'm playing. I think dialogue in any way always helps us be better and find solutions to problems that sometimes we don't even know exist. And if you have a problem of not having enough content to watch, Connor O'Reilly YouTube channel has you. So thanks you guys for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot to me. Helps fund these videos and keep them going. So big shout out to all you guys. Until next time.